the chaplain here. Thank you all for taking the time to be here, for joining us today. What a joy to see everyone here. You know, I love this time of year, and this year specifically is very neat because of the different religious festivals that all fall around the same time. Ramadan just ended a little over a week ago. Passover begins, I believe, this weekend, and Easter is just a few weeks away. And it's this beautiful time of so many people celebrating not only the love of the divine, but the love that they have as people for one another. And I found this poem that I wanted to share with you. Sometimes love is just learning how to stay. It's not always a grand gesture, but an inward posture. And sometimes love isn't seen or even appreciated in the way you want, but maybe love goes deeper than what you can see. It rattles in the soul. Love is as vast as the ocean, and we're always only swimming on the surface of its greatness. And we may not see how far our love goes or who it will reach, but we can always choose to trust. We need love even when we do not know where the love we are giving will be received. And so in this town hall meeting today, where we don't know where our love may be being received, but we know we need to give it all the same, may we have a blessing upon this meeting and upon each and every one of us.
Good afternoon. Happy April. Okay, here's the question. How many of you actually thought Florida was going to win that basketball game on Monday night? About 7. How many of you thought Duke might have won? A majority. We'll see what happens next year. I think the field of college basketball is going to change significantly over the next year because of all of the changes, but it will be fun to watch as it is every March. As always, we start our meetings off with good news, and I'm going to ask Emily to gather some good news from the room. We have some good news right there, center.
I don't plan on being here next month, so I'll give my good news for May for April. My cousin has joined Marine Corps Reserves, and he ships on the 20th of May. So all good thoughts to him. He's a freshman at Virginia Tech now.
Wonderful.
He'll be back for spring goes 26.
Wonderful news. Who else has good news? I'm back. Thank you. That is good news. That's good news for me. Thank you for everybody. I know that most of you know that I was out last week. I had an emergency surgery. I am now gallbladderless, but I know that I'm not alone. There are probably many other people in the room that also have experienced the same thing. But thank you for your kind wishes and your prayers and all of the good thoughts. I definitely felt them when I was in the hospital. My good news is that my son, Noah, graduates in, let me guess, how many days until May 17th? 38 days. I'll have to graduate in 38 days. I don't think there's much he could do to ruin that right now, so I think I'm in a good point with that. Who else has good news? Where's Neil? Share your good news, Neil.
We're getting a dog. He's a terrier that's about the size of Marta's shoe there. And his name is Louie. He has a little mask. And I'm sure by the time I see him, he will be my wife and my daughter's best friend. And who knows where I'll fit in.
So I think I was more excited about the dog than Neil was, I'll be honest. He's pulling up a picture.
I have good news.
Okay.
my husband, James, was cast as Cyrano in Cyrano de Bergerac, which will be up and playing at H-Croft Hall with Richmond Shakespeare. So Monday, he was not able to join me at the Passover Seder because he was busy getting sized for a prosthetic nose. The things you do when you marry an actor.
Who can top that? Nobody. Anybody in the back? Anybody in the front? Okay, we'll start off with our announcements. Emily.
Good afternoon. Emily Adler, Director of Sales and Marketing. My mighty team, again, there's 3 of us, Logan Stanley, who's our sales counselor, and Maria Edwards, who keeps our heads on straight. Her official title, though, is Marketing Coordinator. I am thrilled to share that we have 6 different families who are moving to our community this month. George and Jenny Budd, who moved into Cottage 2164. Larry and Carolyn Bedford, who are currently, I'm sure their heads are spinning. They are in the midst of moving into apartment 285 in the D Wing. Fred Worth is joining us later this month in apartment 259. Ed McKenna is also joining us later this month in apartment 435. And finally, Judy Ellis is moving into apartment 282. And then we have 6 moves scheduled for next month and an additional 6 moves in June. So we worked pretty hard to spread these moves out so that we can ensure that everyone has a positive move-in experience. So I know last month, I think I said that we had about 20 moves in the month of May, and that has been spread. So we're very, very excited about that. It's going to leave us with a total of 7 residences that will be available, which is, again, the smallest that we've had in the 2.5 years I've been here. So we're very, very proud of that. I wanted to also mention that coming up later this month on April 24th, we are having an event for folks who have never been to Cedarfield. We had one of these back in October that was very successful, and so we are doing the same thing again in April. We are calling it a Sip of Springtime event, so Logan and I will do a presentation on CCRCs and why Cedarfield is the top of the top, and they should all be coming here. And then we'll open it up for a happy hour, and I would love for residents to join so that these new faces can meet the faces of people who live here so that there's less mystery beyond the gate. So if you're interested in joining us for that, please reach out to me or any member of my team. Again, that's April 24th, and the happy hour is likely gonna start probably closer to 4, is what I'm thinking. You don't have to come to the presentation, you all already know all that information. Lastly, I just wanted to address some spring cleaning. So we have noticed that that folks are getting pretty excited about spreading their personal items into hallways and beyond their alcoves, outside of their doors. So as an effort, a part of our spring cleaning, I just want to ask that if you have gone beyond your alcove, to please rein it back into your alcove. We have a lot of decor that is throughout independent living, and things are gonna be updated within the next year. So I just wanna make sure that your belongings are set in your space, and that they don't get removed later by anyone mistakenly. So please just be considerate of how you're decorating your hallway, and to just keep it within your alcove. That's everything. Thank you so much.
Lauren.
afternoon, everyone. I'm Lauren Burnett, your assisted living administrator, and I am here to share with you an upcoming event that is happening next week. So on Thursday, the 17th, here in the Fellowship Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there is an event that is sponsored by the Health Services Committee that is going to review what to do when you go to the hospital. So it'll be an informational session that's targeted towards independent living residents and attended by various members of the interdisciplinary team to answer any questions you have about the entire process, from preparing for this sort of event to occur all the way through what happens when you're ready to discharge from the hospital. So all of those questions will be answered next Thursday, the 17th. And if you have any questions, I will be here afterwards. Thank you so much. At 2 o'clock. So here in the Fellowship Hall on the 17th at 2 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much.
James Hicks, you're next.
That's me. All right. I'm gonna head up that way.
Ready for the screen?
I
Yeah.
think the last meeting we said we'd have some walk-on music for you. How about for He's a Jolly Good Fellow?
That's too much. All right, so we gotta mix it up a little bit this time. We have some graphic fun, maybe some illustrations and some fun stuff that happens around here. We'll call this maintenance and review for April of 2025. Y'all see it pretty much every day, but there are some things that you don't see, and I'm going to share those with you. A couple will come in the form of a reminder, some will be, ooh, wow, look at this, and other things will just be, hey, this is new, and let's sink in and try to learn this new system. So let's get started. Man, that will hurt your shin, or if you trip on it, maybe your head. We talked about taking up and kind of sharing some of the sidewalk space with benches and car front ends, and this is an illustration of a hitch that's sticking out a little too far. What's the problem with that? It's trip hazard in conjunction with, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for somebody with potentially a walker or a roll area to get around it. So be mindful of that. I hope I'm not pulling anybody out that drives a white Lexus, but that face is hanging out over the top of that sidewalk pretty far. Again, really squeezing that in. That doesn't give much more than probably 25 to 30 inches for someone to get by there. So just be mindful of it. We're not going to give you tickets. We might shame you a little bit, but that's it. Yeah, watch it, Neil. You're next. All right, we talk about clean pipes. I think in the past I've said, hey, let's make sure we put things that are appropriate down in your garbage disposal, and hey, don't flush things that aren't flushable. And we know that this building isn't brand new, but we're taking care of it the best that we can. So we have issues from time to time with things not going down, but coming back up. And that's why. When someone tries to flush, let's say a wipe, or maybe even a diaper or something down, and you can see the diameter of that and how much smaller it is from what the original 4 to 6 inches was. That went down to about 2 inches. When the plumber came out, he said, wow, he said, I can do one of two things. I could try to stick some down in there and try to rattle that grease around a little bit and just send it further down into the pipe, or we can just take sections of pipe out that are clogged up and put brand new back in. We did the latter. It was a little more expensive, but we know for sure now it's open, and that diameter is like this. What I remind you of is please don't pour hot grease down your drain. Please don't. Because over a period of time, it will add up and it'll look just like that again. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is it's expensive to fix. And oh, by the way, if it backs up, it could back up into someone's bathroom or living room or kitchen or worse to get shot. Right? Again, talking about costly repair and waters are flowing in the right direction and bathrooms are more prevalent. This is another reminder, just something real quick. Occasionally we have people that are trying to cook. Maybe they forgot. The look on Jack Sparrow's face says it all. What is that smell? Oh, I'm cooking something in the kitchen. So when the fire alarm goes off, you may see some of my team members come out, or maybe we'll have a nurse just to make sure that there's no smoke inhalation or anything worse that might have occurred while you were in there. But there's a couple reminders in here I wanted to just touch on. I mean, fire is obviously the worst. We don't see that very often. We really just see smoke and the smell. Be nice to just stay in the kitchen. Sometimes I get sidetracked and I'm like, oh man, I forgot I'm in the garage watching a sporting event and I'm cooking something in the kitchen. You can always ask your spouse or your friend to cook for you. It's always a safe one. That's my favorite. You can set a timer and say, hey, this thing here is supposed to go 45 minutes. I won't forget. Go ahead and just set a quick reminder. Everybody has these cell phones just about, right? We carry them everywhere we go, especially in the bathroom. We're like, forgot to pull that thing out of the oven. And then just double checking sometimes. If we set it for 45 minutes and we set it for 45 hours, well, it's not going to go off in time. I can have a visit from one of my team members, probably. The other thing, the big thing I think right now is I want to let you know we have a strategy here. I mean, the team works really hard to say we're going to roll this thing out. It's just going to be like butter. It's smooth, and this is what we're going to do. This is the second thing we're going to do, and then this is going to be perfection. And it didn't work this time with Butterfly. However, the Butterfly is a new intercom system. And I know everybody was saying, when are we going to get the new intercom system installed? And it was like, hurry up and it's here. And we were so excited. We got all the information in, and when we got all the information loaded into the background, it automatically sent out emails. Well, we didn't tell it to do that. It just did that. So unfortunately, people were receiving notifications of, hey James, what is this? Is this spam? Is someone trying to steal my money? Or what is it? And we do apologize for that. We should have known it was going to do that, but with little training that I received on this and my team, we really didn't know that, and now we do. So because these little snafus happen, I think it makes us smarter and a little bit better to operate the system.
Can you explain what that is?
That was a dog. The system is called Butterfly, and it really is right now, and that's a great question. So it's the new intercom system that currently resides at Parkview. Now there are probably going to be interfaces at the A wing, the B, the C, the old pool entrance, healthcare, and maybe one other one. It allows you to walk up to this interface, and I'll walk through here. See that QR code right there on the left? I bet probably most of you could just take your phone and just scan it up to that thing, and it will automatically bring you right to the app. And that app will take you right through it. It's really brainless, the amount of time it takes you once you know where you're going. Let me go through this real quick, and then I'll show you the interface. It's easy. But we're still muddling through it a little bit because there's a lot of idiosyncrasies behind the scenes that we want to make sure are right before we start telling you how to do it. The cell phone is the easiest. If you happen to be down at that interface at Parkview, you'll notice that there's a screensaver that rotates around, and it is in fact that QR code. And your phone will pick that up if you have a cell phone in front of you, and it'll automatically say, hey, do you want to download this? It's really that fast. And you just follow the prompts to upload it. And the system right now is supposed to say one or the other, because if you don't have a cell phone, you can't do that. So the email that I sent out should allow you to click on that and upload your information behind the scenes and allow you to do it with whatever phone. If it's a landline, it should allow you to do that. I'm still trying to figure that out. That's why I'm probably going to have office hours, maybe once a week, for you all to come down and have me help you walk through it a little bit, do some tutorials, and I think in no time we'll all be up and smarter probably than the Butterfly system is itself.
Adding something to that, even though he's said no. So just so everybody understands, the Butterfly system is our new intercom system. If you live in the apartment building and you have a guest that comes to see you, they can push in your apartment number or your name, and the phone system, the Butterfly system, will notify you that you have a visitor. You look at your phone and it will show you a picture of the person who's there, who's coming to see you, and then you could swipe to allow that person to come in. So it's a little bit more extravagant than what we've had in the past, that we would just press *9 and let everybody in. This system allows you to see who is attempting to come visit you, and for you to decide whether or not you want to allow them to come in.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Bye-bye. So just as an example, that's what the interface looks like. You won't see that doofus probably when you step up to it, but it'll have those 3 buttons. Directory, and you can push it just like you would a computer, and it'll let you dial anyone's name, first, last, partial, whatever it is, and then you'll see that person's name. As soon as you touch that, it will have that is what it'll say. Like if you hit the concierge button, it'll clearly say, concierge Lance would say hello. And you can say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'd like to come in, I have a pizza for so-and-so, let me in. They'll see your face there, and they'll determine whether or not you're appropriate to let into our facility, and then they'll release the button and the door will open. This is what you'll see on your end if you use the cell phone. You'll see an image of who's there, they're talking to you, you can hear them, you can clearly see them. It is really intuitive. Again, you won't see that doofus, you'll see whoever is there, hopefully a better looking guy than that. And then I just want to end with, there's a lot of things going on around here, and we really try to have a strategy. I know sometimes it doesn't appear that way, and I feel like it's my fault when things don't work out like very seamless, but we do try. There's strategies that work and strategies that work. They're just a little slower. So we're trying to benefit you and the campus by injecting technologies that will make your life easier, better, and safer. So I thought this was kind of a cool little thing here that pops up. Say, this is not our strategy. There's a lot of ideas floating around. Sometimes we get lucky to get one in the glass, but we really try to get them all in. Yeah. So close for no cigar, but we are trying. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that this butterfly gate meeting in your mom, and also does it negate the need for so-called security?
So we would always suggest that you call security and let them know when visitors are coming. That's just good protocol, good safety protocol. We'll encourage you to do the same thing. It does give you a little bit more of a security to know that the person who says that they're coming to meet you is actually that person. Okay? Thank you. I think David is next.
Lee, I have one question.
Okay. Who else has a question? Wait, we're waiting for a microphone.
How do you use butterfly to let yourself in?
You still have a fob that will let you in. So you will still have a fob and you will let yourself in with your fob, just like you do now.
You can. You don't have to call yourself, but if you download that app on your cell phone, you can just open it for yourself. Yeah.
The fob is a lot faster.
Right. The other thing you could always do is if you don't have your fob or you don't have your cell phone, you ran out to grab something from the car, you can always call the concierge and they'll see you there and they'll say, of course, we'll swipe you in and you'll be able to enter that way as well.
I noticed that there are two new lights on the third floor as you approach the T of that corridor. There are two new overhead lights, and they're very modern. They look great. What is the plan for the other lights?
It's a good question. So we actually put those two lights up there for our Fresh Eyes Committee to see, and everybody liked them. One is a bit larger than the other. The plan is to replace all of the lights with the larger of the two fixtures. There's another question.
And the butterfly system, if it's after hours before the concierge is here, would it automatically go to security and they would let you in?
Correct. How many of you wish that you would have thought of something like Butterfly 10 years ago? I would have loved to have thought of that. Okay, any other questions? We'll move on to David. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm David from the business office. We have somebody new in the gift shop. Carrie DeStanlo is our new gift shop team member. Come on guys. We have about 30 volunteers in the gift shop. Carrie's very familiar with the area. She went to Godwin High School, Longwood, and ACU. For about 10 years, from 2011 to 2022, she was the owner and the manager of By Invitation Only, which is a local Richmond stationery store. And she started not quite a month ago on the 12th of March. So thank you, everybody. And the Cedarfield fiscal year 2026 budget is in the final stages of completion. It goes to the board this month for approval, and the budget presentation will be at the next town hall meeting, which will be Tuesday, April 29th at 2 p.m. in this room. Thank you. Yes? Tuesday. Did I say Wednesday? No. Okay. Yes, we moved it. We need to give 30 days notice before it goes into effect. This will include our annual monthly fee changes. They're very reasonable. Any other questions? Tuesday the 29th, 2 o'clock. And we'll put up slides. That's it? All right, thank you.
So more information will be put out about the change in date for the town hall meeting. For those of you who have been here in years past, you know that we typically do a town hall meeting at the end of the month in April instead of the beginning of the month in May, because we do give 30 days notice for your increase in your monthly fees. So the 29th is the date, 2 o'clock is the time. We'll have a slide put up on channel 974 as a reminder, and also have information in mailboxes. Dining and meal.
Good afternoon, everybody. Neil Stoyer, Director of Dining. Wanted to go over a few things today. One, events. Spring happens, so do lots of events. Anybody attend the Seder on Monday? That was a great event. We got Easter brunch coming up. We have Spring Fling, Garden Day in May, Memorial Day. We're going to do a cookout right out here. Going to do a Chef's Night Out next month as well. Let's kick Chef Seth out of the kitchen, make him do something else. There's a rumor that I might be doing a little exhibition too. You know, Lena, are you excited if I do something?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Well, I am going to have a station. It's going to be toast. Even Bob Staples like that one. We're going to do a ALU cookout here too in May. Destination dining, we're going back to New England in our next cycle. As far as other things going on, personnel, we have a new dining room supervisor starting, because remember, Betsy Thomas left us in February. His name is Eric Carr. He's most recently worked as the director at Lucy Corps in Chesterfield. And some equipment that we've been working on. We got in a brand new steamer. Oh my gosh, a lot of equipment that we have, it's just like Cedarfield. The light bulbs, after about 10 years, start to burn out a little bit all at the same time. Same thing with a lot of heavy use with our kitchen equipment. So you all bought us a brand new steamer, thank you. In Magnolia, James and his team just put in a new residential style refrigerator that has ice and water dispensing, so it'll be 24/7 that they'll be able to do that. I'll be able to take the ice machine from that kitchen and put it in near the bar area, because that ice machine has been down a while, so no extra cost to you. Dish machine repairs, right now, our friends in the dish room, most important team I have, they are using a broom handle to push dish racks through a 12-foot dish machine. The conveyor motor is out, so we're getting that repaired. Let's see here. Scooters. I talked about this a little bit last month, and my friend Florence gave me a 3-page document. We have an electric cart, wheelchair, and walker policy that started in 1998, has been revised several times, and has been renewed several times. And those who know about it there's even a signature at the bottom for some of y'all. Line item 3 on here says to avoid congestion in the dining room and to comply with fire code regulations, mobility devices are to be stored in a designated area. Basically, if you come to main dining, we will park it for you. And then we'll bring it back to you. Line item number 4 says the resident must operate the mobility device in a safe manner and safe speed as to not hinder or endanger others. It also goes on to say, if you aren't complying with this, we can get a hold of the manufacturer and they can put a governor on your device. Ms. Tanika is concerned. You said, you see that? She almost took out the counter. So please, in tight areas, slow it down. Residents aren't always aware that you're behind them with your device, and you'll get there. Just slow it down a little bit and be safe. Thank you. Oh, this just in. Oh my goodness. We had a problem in the cafe last week or the week before. The shake machine went down.
Yep.
Fortunately, your dining services director, when we bought that shake machine, which is like the best thing we ever did, all that, thought ahead and bought an extended warranty. So now the device just got in today. You will have your shakes. I know you need it. I know your guests need it. You got a lot of grandchildren and others coming, so it will be back in service tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the good news about the shake machine, and I can't wait to hear about the toast. Is Sharon Brown here? Sharon Brown was going to make an announcement about spring fling cleaning, which includes carpet cleaning. If you haven't already reached out to her about the services that you want done for spring fling, please do so. She'll be happy to help you with that. Florence Brooks.
Neil is so excited about his toast that he sat down and began to share with me what his attire is going to be for that occasion, so don't miss out. April, oh sweet April, what a beautiful place Cedarfield is to live year-round, but especially in the springtime. Some of you may have recently picked up one of the weekend packets that offered a spring scavenger hunt. It identified quite a few of the beautiful flowering plants, trees, and shrubs that are on our campus. Right now, there are daffodils, redbuds, rosemary, saucer magnolias, Lenten roses, and Virginia bluebells. I hope you've had a chance to rest your eyes on some of these blooming plants, but if not, I'm going to put on the back table a copy of the spring scavenger hunt, so if you didn't pick one up, you'll see one and you'll have the clues on where you can find some of these plants. I hope you'll do that. It's such a wonderful thing to feast on beauty. It nourishes our soul and our spirits, and it fills our hearts and minds with delight. So I hope you'll take advantage of this opportunity to do that. Secondly, April is widely recognized as National Healthcare Decisions Month and is a time to focus on advanced care planning. This month in particular, on April 16th, is known as National Healthcare Decisions Day, on which individuals are encouraged to discuss their healthcare wishes with loved ones and complete advance directives. Advance directives help ensure that your preferences are followed if you become unable to make decisions for yourself. To that effect, Melissa Ellison, our independent living social worker, will be offering a session on advanced care directives next Wednesday on the 16th from 2 to 3 in Prima. You'll learn why advanced directives matter, how to create a living will and healthcare proxy, and the types of decisions you can specify about your care. Everyone should have an advanced care directive because it provides clarity for your loved ones or those who appointed to make decisions on your behalf in difficult situations, because what matters is that they decide what you want, not what they think, what you want. So you have an opportunity to communicate that before there's a need. I hope you'll take the time to come next Wednesday to Melissa's presentation. Finally, once a quarter, our volunteer coordinator Meredith Eckel compiles a social accountability report for the Cedarfield community. I would like to invite Meredith to come up at this time and share with you what that is and what the tremendous amount of work we're doing in that area. Thanks, Meredith.
Hi, everybody. Yes, what is social accountability? It is the meaningful way that we show how we invest in Cedarfield and the greater Richmond community. As you know, Pinnacle Living really values partnership, and that is the relationships we build through outreach and through volunteering. We also cherish hospitality, so that welcoming spirit that we offer, how we show generosity. So a few examples that we consider to be social accountability would be the kids from Tuckaway that come in through the mentor program. They come once a month. So that partnership we have with Tuckaway Daycare. Also our partnership with St. Christopher's. They come every Tuesday through the Saint Serve program and volunteer with residents in assisted living. They also help team members with various tasks. We work closely with several churches where deacons and reverends and priests come to offer pastoral services. Social accountability is not just about what happens at Cedarfield, but it's also how we give back to the community. For instance, we collect Feed More, all the food that we collect here and give to Feed More. The teddy bears, some of you are the sentimental sewers and you sew the bears. Just last week, I dropped off 30 of those bears at St. Mary's Hospital. I also took 4 large bags of kind of the worn pool towels. If you are a pool goer, you have probably new towels. The older towels went to the SPCA. A few weeks ago, our residents in assisted living put together 56 gift bags for social workers at United Methodist Family Services. So that was really neat to see the residents having fun, putting together the bags and knowing that they're going to really hardworking social workers there. A lot of you participate in outreach trips. Today we went to Goochland Cares, and that was awesome. So just beyond volunteering, we invest our resources in ways like providing educational training here. We have interns here. We use our space for events like the Leading Age Conference that we had just last month. All of this falls under the umbrella of social accountability, which is also a key factor in maintaining our CARF accreditation. So as you can see, your time and your effort, whether you're volunteering here at Cedarfield or outside the walls of Cedarfield and other organizations, they really matter. So please write down your hours. This is my plug to write down your hours. You can put them under my door, which is located in the atrium area. There is also a mailbox, right, where you can get a blank form in the mail room. You can email me your hours, but all of that matters. Did you know that on average, we have about 207 volunteers a month, giving an average of 1,758 hours of their time. So it varies month to month, but that's just an average. If you volunteer, you are invited to an appreciation event held in this room on April 30th. We're gonna have food and music. It's gonna be a great time, so I hope you can come. So that's on April 30th. I'll put a reminder in everybody's mailbox, but I hope you can be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith, and to all the volunteers in the room. Betsy.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Betsy Pollard, Director of Philanthropy, and it's wonderful to hear about the many ways that you all are contributing to our community through your time and service. So thank you for that. I have a few few items of note today. First, the Scholarship Program Committee has been working hard to ensure that all team members are aware of the opportunity to apply for our continuing education scholarship in order to develop their skills and expertise, advance their career, and continue to serve and care for Cedarfield residents with excellence. There are 3 opportunities annually for team members to apply, and most recently, applications were received at the end of March, and the Scholarship Program Committee is taking those up next week. And then there'll be another opportunity for team members to apply at the end of May for coursework that they may be pursuing in the fall. So just thank you so much to all of you who give to the Scholarship Fund to support our team members in this way. It means a lot, and it's really nice to know that with that continuing support, the committee will not have to turn away anyone for lack of funds. I also wanted to just highlight the Samaritan Fund, as there'll be some focus on this between Mother's Day and Father's Day. The Samaritan Fund, which has existed since our founding, supports residents who, through no fault of their own, have depleted their resources. So support through this fund provides security, stability, and peace of mind for those who find themselves facing the circumstance. So between mid-May and mid-June, please look for information about how to support the Samaritan Fund. And also during that same time frame, the worship offerings will be directed to this Samaritan Fund as well. And finally, I just encourage you to check out a new resource. I think I mentioned it last month rather. This My Cedarfield app, there's an icon called Philanthropy Corner. I think it's a couple up from the resident directory, if you go there often. And that just provides information about various the charitable funds, some of which I mentioned today, as well as different ways to give. And if you prefer a printed copy, I think there are some on the back table. You can pick that up on your way out. So again, as always, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I can't tell you what a joy it's been over these months to meet with many of you and get to know you. So thank you for all of the many ways that you serve our community, and as we heard earlier, beyond our community. Thanks.
Thank you, Betsy. I have 3 quick bullet points before I will turn it over to your resident council president. One is about a temporary change in leadership that I believe we might have announced at our last meeting. Brittany Ingrid Atkins, who is our healthcare, our nursing home administrator, is temporarily helping out at our sister community, Hermitage Deep Run, because they are without an executive director. We anticipate Brittany being back on campus with us mid-May, May 15th. And in the meantime, Kate Seiler, the Associate Executive Director, is serving as the Administrator of Record upstairs in our healthcare center. So if there are any questions about healthcare that the nurses or the Director of Nursing can't answer for you, Kate will be available to help you with those questions. The second is just a reminder that the weather is absolutely beautiful out, and more residents and team members are walking. Please be aware of that, and that people are out walking a little earlier in the morning and a little later in the evening. When driving on campus, please make sure that you're alert and you're stopping at stop signs, and that you're abiding by the speed limit signs. Now, many of you have commented on the fact that you missed the 24.5 sign. When you pulled in, we changed it to 25, and I'm sure that everyone is still on their best behavior and only driving 25 or less, so thank you for that. Lastly, just a reminder, we really love our partnership with Functional Pathways, the provider of physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy here at Cedarfield. The team is great and does a wonderful job helping residents get stronger and build up endurance. Their payment structure changed about 2 or 3 months ago, And now our providers, the therapists themselves, are only being reimbursed for the time they spend working with the residents. So that being said, please make sure that when you have an appointment, you show up on time, if not, maybe 10 minutes before, so that when the therapist is ready to see you, you're ready to go, and they're able to provide you a full scale of services in the time that has been allotted for you. If you have any questions about that or any of the other announcements that were made today, yes, ma'am. Emily, question in the back. She's on her way.
When the elevator was down for the exercise room, I walked down the driveway and back. As I was coming out, I realized I actually took almost a spill because there's no yellow paint. There used to be yellow paint on the curb there where the sidewalk meets the driveway. I don't know if there are other places where there are such curbs meeting driveways, but certainly for people with low vision, it's important for their safety to have yellow paint so that people are aware of this, as opposed to the argument that perhaps the campus is more beautiful without the paint. So I would advocate for the safety of our residents.
Thank you for that. I did receive the email, and we have a plan to walk the campus and look at different spots this week. Okay, any other questions for me before I turn it over to your resident council president? Here she comes.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Newell, current resident of the President's Council, and I have the Residents' Council, it's not the President's Council, it's your council. Just a reminder that the Residents' Council is always working behind the scenes on your behalf. You may not see it, but it's taking place every day. You will occasionally hear from your area rep, either conveying information to you that they get from my email blast, or seeking input from you for information we want in order to make decisions benefiting you. This month, our committees are busy as always. Communications is busy identifying all the various communication methods used at Cedarfield and their role in monitoring and recommending improvements. Dining is always carrying forward your concerns, and they get them frequently. Environmental is gathering data and working on plans for the pond, which I know everybody is excited about having something done about that big brown bare spot as you come down the parkway. Facilities is continuing to monitor all the projects that are underway on campus. Health Committee is doing a presentation that they previously mentioned on April 17th here in the Fellowship Hall that I would encourage all of you to attend. Gardening is busy planning gardening days in May that you will get more information about, but that's been in process for months. Wellness and Leisure, of course, continues to provide wonderful ideas for programs, and remember, a Memorial Day program will be coming up. The Welcome Committee is going to be extremely busy in the next 2 months as they welcome all of the new residents. And I'm wearing red today for our Safety Committee. Always remember that those big red signs that have the big white letters that say S-T-O-P mean stop. They don't mean coast. They don't mean think about it. They mean please come to a stop. And the two that we're more concerned about is between C and D wing. When people come out of that parking area and the parking garage, that big metal box makes it very difficult to see anybody coming out of there to look left or right. So please remember to stop and look and make sure nobody's coming before you continue there. And then in front of the building, as you come down in front of D-Wing and make the turn to go onto the parkway, there is a walkway across the parkway. It's difficult for people on that walkway to see a car coming around the corner. It's difficult for a car coming around the corner to see anyone on the parkway. So please be careful. And for those of us who make that turn, we often cross the yellow line. So if you have a car coming in, turning, and a car going out, turning, we hope they don't meet in the middle accidentally. So just be careful, and if you have concerns, please bring them to your area rep so they can bring them to the council so we can make your voice heard. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Ewald. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. The directors and I will stick around after the meeting if you have any questions. Have a wonderful afternoon.